there everybody, Handled Raptor here. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's get into it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's video. Our video today is going to be on a game called Splitgate. It's currently available on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, as well as the PC. This game is a pure multiplayer first-person shooter. It has zero campaign, so if you're looking for a shoot game, this could be the one for you. Now for games such as this, there are only really two big factors. The first one is the different types of weapons, and the second most important factor is the differing game modes. We'll start with the weapons. The sniper rifle is a one-shot kill if it's in the head anywhere, whether it's 50 feet away or 5 feet away, as well as 2 shots to the body. The shotgun can easily one-shot any enemies within roughly 10 feet, but anything outside of that, it requires 2, maybe 3. Once you start getting past the 20-meter mark, though, it really starts to rely on different weapons instead of the shotgun, but up close, nothing beats it. Next up is the rocket launcher, which is just what you'd expect. It's got huge damage, large blast radius that you should never really use to just like try and hit people dead on with it. You always want to aim it at the area around where they're currently at or where they're heading if they're traveling, because using the rocket launcher is exactly like horseshoes and hand grenades. Close enough will definitely get the job done. Next up is what is called the railgun. Now it is a one shot, as in it does 100 damage, which means that any typical player who has 100 HP is going to go down with a single shot. There is roughly a 1.5 to 2 second charge timer before it can be fired, and it will not take out VIPs in the VIP game mode, as they have 200 health instead of the 100. A standard weapon in pretty much every game that involves shooting anything is a pistol. Now, the pistol is one of the weakest weapons that you can get your hands on in the game. Most of the time, it's not something that you want to pick up and use. There are certain game modes where you randomly be given it in your inventory, but it's much better than trying to punch somebody, as you have an actual effective range past melee. But as soon as somebody gets close, you might as well just hit them twice with your fists and you take them out. Now for the next 3 weapons, we're going to be talking about the rifles. Now there are 3 different types. We're going to start with the assault rifle. It's the standard, fully automatic, weak damage, but you've got a large magazine size so you can just keep going. Then there is the plasma rifle, which is very, very, very similar to the assault rifle, except for the fact that the plasma rifle does a little bit more damage, and to make up for the strength over the assault rifle, it has less accuracy over long range. Finally, you have the battle rifle, which is the most accurate over long range, as it's a 3-fire burst weapon. It takes 3 bursts to take someone down, or 3 separate trigger pulls, which equals up to 9 bullets to take someone out. They do roughly 15 damage apiece, but if you manage to land it on the head of your opponent, you're going to be able to take them out in 1.5 bursts. There's only a few weapons left, so stay with me. We're going to go ahead and talk about the SMG now, which is incredibly inaccurate over long range, but its fire rate more than makes up for that. So anybody gets within close distance that is not rocking a shotgun, you're going to be able to take them out faster than any other weapon. The carbine, which battles with the sniper rifle and the battle rifle in terms of what players use over long ranges, it's a single shot weapon, so every tap of the mouse or tap of the trigger or R2 takes 1 shot, and it roughly does 30 damage and 40 to the head, so you're going to need at least 4 to the chest, 3 to the head. Finally, for the last weapon is the BFB, which stands for Big Friendly Bat. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. The way this works is it's very similar to the grav hammer from Halo or the sword, except for the fact that what's going to happen is while you're running up to, give somebody a home run, is the outside of the bat will extend, and once it's fully extended, it means it's finally locked onto your target, which will then allow you to leap forward and deliver a killing blow. Now there is one small thing that I want to add in here, so I said that there's 2 important things. I'm going to make this 1.5. It's not major. I mean, it just, completely changes the way the game's played, and it's portals. Alright, you have portals, and I mean, yeah, there's a jetpack, but you don't exactly have a lot of fuel, so you can't exactly go very far with it. It's more for a little bit of mid-jump controls, that way you can either try and dodge bullets or position yourself to shoot somebody. So yeah, we're going to stick with the portals. Jetpack's more of a way minor thing, but the portals completely change the way you can play the game. You can approach fights backwards or even cover your own back. Now, one of my favorite ways, as well as many other people, I can only assume, is firing through your portals and making sure while you're hidden from view, taking out enemies from around corners or anything else like that. However, you always got to be on the lookout for enemy portals, because they can do the exact same thing. And thankfully, there is a certain gadget in the game that allows you to close portals, it is your grenade. Now, there are no other grenades that I've seen at all, so there's no plasma grenades, no sticky grenades or anything like that from Halo. It is just used for the sole purpose of closing portals, which is great. Every time you kill an enemy player, depending on how many they have used or not used, is how many you're going to get back. So basically, while you're running throughout the game, you always want to be throwing these things. Okay, now that we've got all the weapons and the portals out of the way, we want to talk about the second most important thing of this game, which is the different game types. After all, how are you going to win if you treat every single match like it's team deathmatch? Now, I'm not saying that killing every enemy in sight isn't a good way to play, because it pretty much is the only way to play for a good 80% of the game modes that are currently out. For a few others, you really got to focus more on the objective if you want to take that dub. So for the 7 other games, those are just kill the enemies, win if you kill more enemies than the enemy team. Alright, that's easy. For the 3.5, we've got King of the Hill, where you stand in the zone to earn points to win. You've got Domination, which is pretty much King of the Hill, but after you have captured a point or gotten the points out of it, you then move on to a new one that has been spawned. Oddball, which is basically you picking up a ball and trying to have your team have it in their hands for the longest time. And then finally, the half one is called VIP. Now, VIP is a little weird because you can both attack the objective and defend the objective in an unorthodox way. VIP is where one player on each team becomes the VIP. They have twice the amount of HP, but they cannot use portals, which kind of like balances out. They can take more hits, but they can't escape as easily. So the way to win this is you do kill, but it only matters if you kill the VIPs. But you can also protect your VIP, so wherever your VIP goes, you can go. So it's a little bit different than just securing a zone that's never moving. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the TLDR. This game is an insanely high-paced shooting game. It kind of reminds me of the way that you'd play an older Halo title like 1, 2, or 3, but with the speed that you'd go through Halo 4 or Halo 5, especially with the portals thrown in. Really mess with your mind in the way that the angles can be played and ways to approach fights. Or even enter cover. You can just completely hide away in an area after you've set up a safe portal. Now, the jetpack also helps you cover longer jumps or move while jumping to avoid getting shot or land your own shots better, making for a very fun, action-paced match. It has a staple for pretty much most free-to-play games at this point, similar to Apex or Valorant, in the Battle Pass for skins and other cosmetics, so that way you won't have to drop a single penny to really outfit your character. There are plenty of maps, everyone has their favorite, but you can never go wrong with a map that kind of has an open area, either fully outside or with plenty of room to maneuver in the air, allowing you to use that backpack or use the verticality of your portals. Now on to the bad. While the portals make the game crazier in every way, both good and bad, it also serves to throw a lot of newer players and veterans with so many different areas shots could come from, so you're constantly looking around and it's going to distract you, as well as looking for a place to put your perfect, air quotes there people, portal, alright? Because while you're busy doing that, people are busy shooting, getting rid of you, or getting the objective. And then there is the opposite end of the spectrum for that one, guys, where you or a teammate tackle the game like it's just another shooter, like it's just a Call of Duty, and lose the game because you forget the basics, which is closing enemy portals. I have played, I don't know how many games, but where they use their portals around the map where we have not visited because we're just constantly running into the fights without thinking about portals or verticality or anything like that, as they keep rotating and rotating around us. And finally, they have bots in this game, which is great because it helps fill out the player count, so you don't want to be the only player on your team while the enemy team has a full roster and you've got nothing. It's just you against the world. The only unfortunate thing about the bots themselves is that it's just a farm fest. So whenever it's about just killing, so any of the team deathmatch, the team's sniper shotty, it's just constantly they're being farmed until the game's done. So it really brings it back, and it's not they can't exactly release crazy good AI for it, because nobody wants to play a game where it's better to have one player actually missing and then just fill it with a bot slot, right? Now on for the score. I'm gonna easily give this game an 8 out of 10. It really brought back the nostalgia factor back when I used to play Halo with the boys, when it was a LAN party or anything else like that. The downsides about portals, about the bots, they don't happen all the time, and when it becomes an issue about people rotating on the enemy team and your group not doing anything, all that really is that comes down to the new players, and all that's going to require is practice. You know, you don't want to tear people down, you want to inspire them, you want them to try better so that way they keep playing, because the more they play, the better they're going to get, which means that everybody takes a step up. And finally, if this review wasn't exactly everything you needed to give you the full push off the fence if you wanted to try this game, then this should pretty much do it. This game is absolutely free. It costs nothing except for the information or the data that it's going to take to download it. Give it a shot, see if you like it, and hopefully I'll see you out there. Thank you everyone for joining. Please, if you'd like to support us here at Gamer Critical Network, like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Have a good one.